Greetings, grace and peace to you. My name is DJ Sabs, aka Mr. Radio Man, IJampile podcast. Sibuyile ke on another exciting episode. Themba ukuthi ke uzoxola xa sikuphathela ke osaziwayo apha eNelson Mandela Bay, osaziwayo in the Eastern Cape. Sacela ke usubscribe, usikhangele pha ku Facebook IJampile podcast, usikhangele ku Instagram IJampile_podcast. Ezinye phina sizibone, but ke ku YouTube subscribe, like and let the people know ba sikhona sifikile. Injongo yethu ke to uplift the Eastern Cape, to uplift abantu bethu, to bring abantu aba informative abazasincedisa to push hard ngoba kunzima apha ezantsi in the PEs, in the Gqeberhazi. Yabona we masenze njani ke ngoku iguest yethu nguXola Speelman, umfomkhulu ngolapha eNelson Mandela Bay. KwaNoxolo to be specific, but ke ungumhlali walapha eGqeberha. Ininzi kakhulu into enzileyo, from rapping to coming up with concepts to working with big companies. Andifuni ke ndibe ndiqwela ndedwa. Mntakwethu kunjani?
Bulomkhulu kuyalunga. Unjani?
No, siyabulela man, and thank you for joining us. It's important that we celebrate abantu bethu kwangoku. Twake we give them flowers while we can, you know.
Yeah.
Ndiyafuna man uthi qabaqaba tata, ungubani usuka phi?
Igama ngixola njengokutshilo Bulomkhulu, Speelman from KwaNoxolo. Zalwa from Grahamstown, but ke likhulela eBhayi.
Okay.
So all I know is PE more than home, which is Grahamstown.
Okay.
So yeah.
So you studied in Grahamstown, amabanga phansi okanye waza apha usahamba ngenapkeni?
Ndifike apha ndisahamba ngenapkeni because
Okay.
I remember uqala isikolo, I started a school called IJampile. And then from there going to Hendringinza Enjoli.
My school man.
From
Awesome.
Hendringinza to Kwadwesi, Lungisa and Imkai, yeah.
Okay, so when you were at school, were you a creative person and involved in any extramural activities like sport and music?
Not really, Bulomkhulu, not really. The only thing I remember in high school, because somehow I had to leave PE, go to Grahamstown to do part of my high school, and the only thing in the Kumbulayo back then, I had a group of friends who loved dancing kakulu. I was just a fan. I was not even part of dancing.
Yeah.
I would always gladly go ndiyomamela, ndiyobukela xa dance, and I enjoyed to bukela, but I didn't want to be part of it. So
Yeah.
I wasn't an active person in school. Yeah.
So as we are looking back into your past, you know, checking out the archives from different TV stations, Masmuye, just before that life began,
Yeah.
before group yakho ye-rap, kwakusenzeka ntoni elifini yakho just before then?
Just before I happened to be part of the gospel rap group,
Yes.
I was just a kid, Elokishini, playing soccer, because Elokishini, yeah, I was playing soccer. From soccer, I was one of those kids who would play soccer well, because I remember I would be there, one of the few. But then, there's always that love. And if that love, you don't really get it, especially when you always assume it's very warm, and you easily take whatever the streets offers you. So it was easy for me after playing soccer, going straight to drugs, and I think that's when I spent most of my early 20s. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Let's move now and go to how did you meet these gentlemen? Kwidok unit udumisana Siphaka ibengulo mfana uzwayi. Yabo, how did you meet those guys, and what made you guys decide we're gonna rap in gospel? Because there was no one doing that at that time.
Yeah, that's true, man. That's true. No, we met in Amachita ekhuleni ngendaba yokuxhumana. Ubani uthanda umculo, ndiyathanda uJokuzwayo udlala umculo, and then we met Lucky, and whenever beat idlala nje, someone wanna play around adlale ngamazwi phezu kwayo, and we were like, how about to do this kind of music? And I remember the influence of us three, Senzi group. There was already a very influential group elokishini was called Imasote Ngoko, and we're looking up to those guys.
Now I remember.
They were doing general hip hop.
Yeah.
But we then thought we wanna explore as izinto. There is a gospel rap, and fortunately that time the first person who sinceda ukwenza lo mculo we gospel rap was very much doing a gospel rap.
Okay.
So it was easy for us when we get to meet him. Asibonisa ba angasinceda njani, and why is it the right thing for us as abantu abatsha to be exposed to gospel and try to influence abanye abantu abatsha about gospel. So that's how we started. Yeah.
Okay, so you're doing gospel music. Are you active in church at the time?
Not at all. We didn't start gospel rap because we were active. We started it because it was something that when we listened to some of the music Sasumamela, there was lots of gospel rap, and also the guy we met to assist us was doing gospel rap. And when we started it, we were not active, but luckily after sidibene naye, the circle akuyo was very much active in church.
Yeah.
And their advice was it will be a good thing that nithethe ngento niyenzayo.
Oh.
And that's when we also realized that going to church would be the first thing. And we were going through challenges of lives, doing drugs every now and then. And the good thing about it, those guys didn't say to us, you must first stop doing drugs, then we're going to assist you with your journey. They were like, guys, we're going to church. And there were times you go to church, you're going
oh, hi, you're looking for another Holy Spirit.
Yeah, you are high already and you want to be higher.
Yeah.
As like your cloud 9 high. But that's one thing that I've learned from them, is that they didn't judge us. They just wanted to expose the God they know to us the way esingalo, and I think that's what made it easy for us also to end up following God. Because if I talk about my life and I remember we'll speak with the guys, it happened that in a year or two I don't even remember how I stopped doing drugs.
Yeah.
But I was more exposed to God and happened to lose the addiction during the way. But that was the first 2 years, and then I was clean for about three years since I started with Dog Unity.
Yeah.
But around 2009, yeah, that's when I started going back to drugs like hard. Yeah.
Okay, let's talk about the crew Ikamalayo, you Dog Unit.
Yes, sir.
There were people saying, why would the gospel group be Dog Unit? I remember there was a lot of talk around Beni Kusela njani image Dog Unit, so that abantu elgama bangalijongeli phansi.
Yeah. No, Dog Unity, it always raises questions. Everywhere we go, we'll be like, there's these 3 young men who are doing gospel rap, and everyone will be excited. And then their name is Dog Unity. Everyone now have questions.
Yeah. Dog
Unity. So we had to explain, because Dog Unity, dog actually was an abbreviation, which is DOG, which stands for Disciple of God. So in a way, when you are a disciple to God, it made sense to us to make that name. And that very same name to a rap world, it really connected to dog, because when you rap, you become dog.
Yeah. No, I understand. DMX and all these other people, you know, hey, my dog, and it's a slang from America. No, it makes sense. Now, let's go to the rise of Dog Unit. Did you guys think that you'll be in documentaries, headlining shows, and actually being on SABC 1, 2, and 3, and ETV? You know, talk about the rise of Dog Unit and the fame, basically, because I didn't know any guy as famous, you know, more than you at the time.
That's the reality of it back then. We didn't see it that time, but we realized as Ela Lihamba that even in PE there were a lot of rappers, there was a lot of hip hops. Even the guys we looked up to didn't reach the point that we reached back then in terms of fame. So us getting to Gospel Gold, ETV shows, going to Joburg to the SABC station and be with other great gospel stars. It was a real thing for us.
Yeah.
We didn't see it coming, but it really came through the life that we were living before we happened to know or before we happened to do this gospel rap.
Yeah. So it was more like a testimony.
It was a testimony because it came when the movie Utsotsi came in South Africa.
Oh.
So there was a competition whereby they needed a story of any young people who has a story of that is more similar to Utsotsi or Kolwele Lokshi.
Yeah.
We submitted our story as a Dog Unity, and they loved the story, and that story was run by also Gospel Gold. That's when they started bringing us in. Yeah.
Okay, wonderful stuff. What were the challenges, Gengo? Because I'm sure coming from Ekasi and being famous, inazo challenges zayo nje lonto le yoto.
Inazo, and I think we always say ngayo. I think fame found us elaxesha sebancinci singayilindelanga. I remember eTexini, or we would get to a mall, or we'd go to Green Acres. I remember in Green Acres, Hungry Lion, we got there and we were trying to buy stuff, and the stuff, like everything stopped because they wanted these three guys to sign. And to us, when we walked away, we were like, guys, are we that big?
Yeah, no.
And it was some kind of an advantage and disadvantage sometimes now, because when you're going to some places, you don't want to be seen because people want to speak to you, want to understand how did you get there. Yeah.
You know, it makes sense. It makes sense. Now, we've spoken about the rise. Now, let's talk about the fall of It Dog Unity.
Yeah.
Take me through.
The fall of It Dog Unity, I think, also that we didn't see it coming. And I think all the fame that came, Sisebancinci, Singeko prepared enough to handle stuff. It was one of the biggest things because when it came through Izinto, like our friendship was very much strong because we're always together.
Like
but
brothers.
Then,
I thought you were brothers.
Like brothers. But then somehow it happens that as a group, some of us see the church where we at is not that good now. Can we go and explore the other church? And some of us were like, no, I'm cool, Glenn, it's our. And then now we started having this group that starts to have different places to worship.
Okay.
And that's where I think iqale khona.
Maybe the other people were looking for better opportunities, maybe to advance themselves, because trust konze lokshini kanjani tatumdala by understand the way, you know, if snoya mhlawumbi color church or white church mhlawumbi, you know, get nicer reception and
ufumanise kwezinye inkonzo you are given better attention than this other church. Okay. So as a group now you are excited and the attention ifumana kula nkonzo, and you assume that is the best church to be because we are glorified in a way.
Status is still.
Yes.
Oh.
So that's when things started to be like, no man, there is some kind of in terms of spirituality, and also we're getting some kind of isentinyana. And also we still had our friends from back then, so us going back to drugs wasn't easy. It was always a step away for us to go there. And I think after we were clean for 2 to 3 years, we happened around 2009 going back to drugs, and we still were together, but then the more we spent time on drugs and having friends and attend church here and there and differently, that's when the group was like, okay, it's ending now, and abanye bafuna uqale yabo, abanye like, I'm out of this life. And I remember myself, I felt deep down I'm in trouble when it comes to drugs. I remember telling my mom that I want to leave town because I want to stop doing drugs, but even if I want to, there's always a friend who's gonna say to me, but you've been good to me for some time. So you can't say mile for Uchaya, So my only way out was to skip town. And I remember my mom wasn't happy with that decision. But I had to find a day when she went to work. Then I decided that this is the day I'm skipping town. So I only told her when I was on my way up to Bloemfontein that I left town, because deep down I wanted to stop drugs. And I remember when I got to Bloemfontein, the first thing that I did, I had to substitute doing drugs by doing alcohol. I was never an alcohol person, but I had to like find something to substitute drugs. And the first 6 months, drugs is not a cool thing. I remember my body, I was sweating every day, because drugs is demanding that, your body is demanding that you give it exactly what you were normally giving it to. But until when I happened to find myself during the journey, and I had good people in Bloemfontein who coached me, who put me back to church. And until I think I was in Bloemfontein from 2010. Only 2013 I came back to PE, and when I told my mom I'm coming back to PE, she was happy. And when I told her I'm no longer doing drugs and stuff like this, she didn't believe it. And I spent a week in PE that exact time, not having friends, not associating myself with the old friends, with also the dog unity, because I felt like everything with my life was about that life. So I had to stay away anyway.
Sure, brah. Really a great journey, Lawe, and I can feel that you're talking from an experience. You're talking from a very dark place, because you feel, you feel ingati ayingekho enye indlela. Run away from ikhaya lakho.
And you know, sometimes when people say some of the troubles you won't have solutions for, you will have to literally run away. I had to do that for myself, and it worked for me.
Okay, good stuff. Now you're back in PE. Did you find work at the time, or did you work with organizations around PE, because you have all this experience on nayo osuka nayo ngapha eNanskin eBloemfontein?
When I came back to PE, I didn't have a job. But I always had people that I've worked with before who always were happy to assist me. The first thing I did when I came back to PE, to assist them in tutoring grade 1, grade 2, to ideas. And I think those kind of small projects and doing also community work, it's what worked for me. And one thing I loved about it, it wasn't exposing me to the people who would ask me about dog unity and stuff like that. So that life, I wanted that life gone, and it was slowly fading well until I got a job in 2016 when I was fully in PE. What was your job that you got in PE had anything to do with helping people and actually being in a place where your skills can be utilized? Yeah, not really, but it did add some kind of value in myself, because what I've loved about that job was being on a space whereby your boss trusts you to run the space, and whereby your boss is like, what do you want, and you can speak with your boss. And I think that's when, because I remember before coming back to PE from Bloemfontein, I already had an idea of putting down some kind of a spiritual therapy. So when I got this new job, I was in a space whereby I also had time to now put together all the content so that I can be able to run with it.
Okay, Benzo yakanye apho ku spiritual starter pack. The first time I heard the word, because you just sent me a word about spiritual starter pack. I was like, hey dude, anyway, because I don't understand what is a spiritual starter pack. The only starter pack I knew is something to do with cell phones and SIM cards. You know, can you explain to a layman, but what is this spiritual starter pack?
So the starter pack is it's some kind of a content that I thought. I remember one day in Bloemfontein where I was working. It was some kind of a joke, sitting a lunch, namachita, no sisi, and out of the blue, someone is asking, "But you guys are eating. Someone should pray." before Sitandaza, and one of the oldest guys, who was about 32 years up a grouping, was challenged to pray, and he was very honest. Like, guys, if bendikwazi benzotandaza but andikwazi, and that's a 32-year-old. And enyanisweni, in reality, people, it's not because abathandazi, because abafuni. There are a lot of grown-up people abangakwaziyo, abangayaziyo banzoqala phi kwanithandaza. So that's where the idea came, and the spiritual starter pack, it's exactly more like your MTN booklet, where it leads you on how to start your phone to activate your SIM card. Because with the spiritual starter pack, it's basic of spirituality on how to activate your way with God, on how to connect with God. People don't really know. If you are saying, here's the Bible, where should I start? And people who know Bible, they know that if you are going to read the Bible, you don't have to start where the first page is, but there's a certain chapter where it gives you the beginning. Then you go back to all the other chapters to have this connected message.
Okay, beautiful stuff. Hectic. Because when I saw it, I was like, and it's innovative, and also it's not your regular starter pack where you will be talking about is it secular. So it was focusing on the gospel. Now later on, you decided to do a magazine. As a IJampile magazine via WhatsApp. Yintoni ebangela uba ucinge ngemagazine elo hlobo?
Hey man, the magazine idea, which is what I love and enjoy right now, and I think that was an idea coming from, I remember I was in a flight from Joburg to PE. The company I work for normally would send me for some of the meetings in Joburg. So on my way back, I was going through this magazine, and it's a beautiful magazine on British Airways, businesses, everything. The only person I knew, I didn't know, but the only black guy who was there, it's Tsepo Jeans, and Tsepo Jeans is based in Johannesburg. And I'm thinking to myself, these flights are coming in and out of PE, but you don't see anything that sells PE in this magazine. So to me, that didn't make sense. So I needed to find something that's going to be able to sell what we have in PE to these people who are coming in and out of our Nelson Mandela Bay. So that's where the idea started. But I knew at the back of my mind that I don't have funds to print magazine. And I need this model to get to people easy, and I had to find something that people are using every day in order for them to get to reach this message. So WhatsApp came in there, and the magazine started 2019 July. That was the first edition, which was out.
Okay. Now the magazine is more now like a business platform that you push. Can you just tell us about some of the content that is there and some of the people that the magazine has afforded you to link up with? If you
the magazine, man, it really is a great platform, and I think it's a great breakthrough for me as a person and a businessman. Because it really has connected me to lots of great people that I wouldn't have connected with right now. I remember I was on a call with IJampile this one day, talking to her about the article we were going to feature her kuyo. And after that conversation, I was thinking to myself, there was no way I could be speaking to IJampile on the phone, talking to her about stuff. And the manager, the person who manages IJampile, after that conversation, gave me a call also, and the exclusive of the song Waikupayo, I forgot the song now, that was 2020, I think early 2020, in February.
It's not the one that's in Twingawe.
No,
it's not that one.
She released the same song with the song our release on KB.
Okay, I get it. Yeah.
But that was an exclusive because I remember the manager gave me a call like, did Amufaku tell you about this song? I was like, yeah, we spoke, but she didn't mention that. I had to give her a call. That was how they were excited about the magazine. They needed to make sure everything is out, and we're so fortunate as the magazine to be able to be the first guys to speak about that actual song. So the platform mainly is for small businesses, giving them exposure, because I believe there's so many professionally run small businesses. Ekufuneka siziqhwabele ngosisakhula singalindeli sibe zinkulu sibe celebrity before we recognize them. So the platform is to give them that recognition, sibaqhwabele izandla, and also we include entertainment, because part of our lives is either music, poet, and as a magazine we have to have that kind of content.
Yeah, I remember one of the cover page, you had the guy here trip.
Yes, sir.
Talk to me about that, because there's a lot of emerging people in the business space in terms of apparel, ihlangu. You know, there's a lot of people abafumana in mileage. But when you were able to get them while they're emerging.
Yes, and that story too, because Olika, I think I remember I gave him a DM once, and he was like he wanted to see the magazine. He checked it out, and that was it. And I continued with the magazine. I think 3 months later, he sent me a text, dude, when are you profiling me? And I was like, this is the chance. And I was happy with the fact that now he was the one requesting to be on the magazine. And back then, IJampile was not as big as it is
definitely, because
yes, it was not as big as it is right now. So I'm very much happy when I see his growth, and because the magazine's aim was to exactly do that, expose small businesses to the masses.
Bangapha abantu that you guys are reaching as the magazine, because I feel when you are talking magazine or CD or any other, you know, platform or noti iyebantwini, we always ask for numbers. If I'm going to buy space, I'm going to think ingabahlawumbi izofika abantu abangaphi, so that my product can be seen.
Currently I have about more than 13,000 people who are accessing the magazine every day via WhatsApp. And I'm so impressed, because when the magazine started July, it was a very challenging concept. People were very skeptical of sharing their personal WhatsApp numbers to a stranger, and we're getting about 100 people a month. That was a challenge also to get 100 people a month. But currently there's month whereby you got about 300 to 400 requests of the WhatsApp magazine. And the great thing about it, we haven't done any physical marketing. The magazine is marketing itself via social media so far. So we haven't gone to people, to events to speak about the magazine. So it already shows that by the time we go and hit those spaces, the magazine is going to be as big as it's supposed to be.
So we're talking in July this year. We're talking nearly 2 years.
Yes, it's going to be fully 2 years. We are on issue number 23 currently, which is May. By June, it's going to be 24, which is fully 2 years. July, we're starting the 3rd year.
You know, the diversity of the people on the cover, your two-side times, because you would find that ngoku si kuprofilwa umntu in the media space, when you kuprofilwa someone on a brand yakhe. And the last time I checked, there was a doctor for this particular month. Why the variety ngaka?
The idea at the beginning was there's always a gap in our normal lives. The leadership always say and sees young people as the future of the society. And at the back of my mind, I'm saying, if we don't then include or involve young people in our activities, in our lives as Oteha, to see and be influenced then abo bantu batsha abazoyibona loo nto leyo. So the reason why we have all these different people who are well established on the cover of the magazine is to close that gap between abantu abatsha and those people who are well established, so that we can make sure that there is no gap here, because if there's a gap, it's going to be very much difficult for young people to know about how losisi ungugqirha uphila njani wenza ntoni. But by the time now they see those people in the magazine and get to read their people are going through the same way we go through. It's just that they're putting in energy on their work.
Beautiful stuff. Dakwethu, before sibe siyahlukana ndiyafuna man usichazele nge-future plans zika Xola Speelman kunye ne-future plans with the business venture WhatsApp magazine.
Hey, my future plans personally as Xola Speelman, by the end of this year I would love to hand the magazine to a team that can fully run it without me, so that I can focus on the dreams that I want that are out of the magazine.
Okay.
So the plan also for the magazine currently is to find a partner, a company that can say they can fund some kind of a learnership or internship for a year. Then so I can be able to bring in students from the university who are unemployed. They are graduates who did media, who did journalism, who don't have work, and I have a platform whereby they can exercise the skill. So that's the future plan. If I can get the unemployed graduates and the company that can at least pay those people monthly, then it will be something of greatness to me. I would know that, okay, I have reached what I wanted to reach, and also that will be assisting in tackling the unemployment issue in South Africa.
Yeah, there's something I forgot to ask you. What are the wins of the magazine? Because I feel they are attached to you. They are your wins, and at the same time, the wins is a magazine. Noba zimbini zintathu. Something you can say, but hey, apa samamba, so call it ticket call.
The wins, I didn't see them coming, but they are here. One of those is MTN. MTN's a big company. So for MTN coming down to the magazine saying to us, we wanted 12 months contract for space on the magazine. That was one big thing. So we have MTN who started last year, 2020 December. They are going to be finishing their contract this year, 2021 December. Hopefully, we're going to continue or bring in other big brands. And the second win, also during lockdown, DJ Sbu and IJampile were running a competition whereby they were looking for who has a business that is breathing and surviving through these challenging times. And they want to hear those stories, and we submitted the WhatsApp magazine and how it's reaching other people and also selling other young entrepreneurs' stories. So they love the story. We won the competition, and DJ announced that we won. So that was another great accomplishment. So the magazine so far has been doing well. The last thing is also we got a very great breakthrough. One of the organizations in East London, they are running a youth magazine, and during lockdown they couldn't print. And their young people couldn't afford to always go online and download magazine, but they can access WhatsApp every now and then. So the big company is renting our WhatsApp line, so we are also a distributor of their magazine.
Awesome.
So that's another great win for the magazine.
Sure, Buddha. Sifumana api tata ku social media, sifumana api WhatsApp magazine. Just plug yourself quickly. Twitter, it's WhatsApp Mag. Instagram, it's WhatsApp Mag. Facebook, it's WhatsApp Magazine, and we are mostly on WhatsApp. So if you go on your WhatsApp, you can save our number, which is 078-703-7820. It's 078-703-7820. You send a text saying WhatsApp Mag. We already know you need a magazine. Just a text away, you get the magazine. Awesome stuff. Masibulele ku Xola Speelman info WhatsApp magazine. Bombake, everything I touch layer up. Hope it will feed you, and definitely kwizinto zonke ozenzayo you will actually think about the past, the present and the future, because akho nto nje ingena consequences. But umfo omkhulu kwazile ke yena to basically pick life yakhe up wayibhekisa phambili. Mna ndingu-DJ Sebs aka Mr Radio Man. Kuthuba elizayo sakuphathela abanye abantu balapha eNelson Mandela Bay, abanye abantu balapha eStern Cape abaphetshe into ezinkulu abazasilola nathi so that iijeni zethu noko zibe ngcono. Subscribe siyakucela, like our Instagram phake ku IJampile_podcast, na ku Facebook sikhona podcast pha kuthiwa ke ngu IJampile podcast, easy like that. Dingu DJ Sebs ku Facebook, real DJ Sebs pha ku Instagram, ku Twitter ku DJ Sebs. Phinde thina sibona kuxa elizayo IJampile besilapha.